What is going on, beautiful people? What is poppin'? So today we're going to be talking about a video that has went viral. It has 8.2 million views on Twitter, which I'm not sure how that's legal, but it's about a music teacher that literally beat the brakes, and this is at the title, off of this 14-year-old student. And I never condone violence, especially if you're a teacher or, if you're a parental elder. You should never at any point lay your hands on someone under the age of 18, even if it is self-defense. And this guy inside this video had multiple opportunities to change his mind before, during, and after throwing blows. But I want to talk about, grown man actions and grown man consequences. So inside this video, like I said, it's on Twitter. If you guys want to look it up, it's called Teacher Beats the Brakes Off of 14-year-old Student. It'll pop up. Like I said, it got 8.2 million views. You ain't going to have a hard time finding it. Now, so inside the video, you see the student like getting real close to the teacher, calling them all kinds of N words, calling them the B words, the P, every slang word that you can use and every curse word that you could use to demean somebody and pretty much to call them a punk. Was used inside that video, along with him getting really close and just clearly trying to intimidate the teacher into punking him. And you got the students with the cameras out, which this is no excuse for the guy's actions, but the teacher straight up punched him in his shit, straight up rocked him, and then proceeded to, once they got to a different location of the classroom, he proceeded to rock him, especially once he had him in like that headlock. He was just coming down, just woo, woo, like he gotta go for them bad boys. And if you look at the video, he's not even punching him with a closed fist. He's hitting them with the phone. And then when the teacher lets go of the student, his face is just leaking. And how this is legal, on Twitter legally, I have no idea. And it was actually so bad, even though this whole ordeal, this whole altercation lasted about a minute and 30 seconds. And towards the end, it was completely out of control because a security guard came in and she was female, but she couldn't like hold the teacher back from, because the teacher was moving around after, they broke up or whatever. He was still trying to come get some more. He was trying to get some more licks in. And the security guard was trying to come in between, but dude was just moving too fast and just, he just shimmied right off of her and just came towards the teacher again. And then luckily some, not to be sexist, but some men came inside the room and was able to, diffuse the situation pretty quick. And you actually see a student towards the end because at this point it's chaos, okay? It's straight pandemonium at this point. And so a student actually goes in to help. A student jumps in that had nothing to do with it and gets a blow in. And you can hear the teacher towards the end, who hit me? Who hit me? He's going to watch that video and see who hit him, and he's going to be waiting for you in the parking lot. That's not funny, guys. There's nothing funny about child abuse, but you got to take this, with a grain of salt. I'm sorry, okay? But I really want to, just talk about, like he was warned. This 14-year-old student was warned multiple times. He said, walk away. Guy continues to run his mouth, curse him out. And the teacher didn't say anything, at least inside the video, from what I've seen. I'm sure there was a back and forth. But you know how kids are in high school. You remember those kids that would be, aggressive towards teachers or the fight a teacher or, there have been a couple stories. The kids think they have grown man strength, like the balls drop. They think that they're a man now and they could just do what they want and get physical. And it always ends up bad because inside that video, you could see that once the dude got him inside of that headlock or the guy was trying to like pick him up or body slam him, like he wasn't like 60 pounds lighter than the teacher. But while he was doing that, dude was just coming down with them blows. And those weren't like, light taps. Those were bombs he was dropping. And you could tell. And I think that's what made his, his face leak. And once again, not sure how this is legal. And I hope I'm not out of line for talking about this. But like we should really get our students, or teenage boys to not be challenging adult students. Like we should keep kids. We should allow kids to just be kids, and we should expect kids to be kids. And fighting and everything else that goes along with that. That's a man activity. It's an adult activity. That is for self-defense, for protection of property, and overall safety. That's the only time you should be putting your hands on somebody. Especially if you're a kid challenging a grown man. Like, dude had way more experience in life. Not just like experience, in fighting, but experience in life than you, and you're trying to go toe to toe for what? I really don't understand that. And that teacher's completely out of line, bro. Like, I can't believe Like, like I said, like there was a face off, and then they got a couple blows in, they broke apart, and then they went to a different location, a different part of the classroom to continue fighting because there was more space. And I'm thinking the teacher probably had a good 10 seconds from walking from one side of the classroom to readjust the fighting space. He could have walked away at any time during that 10-second interview, but he continued to engage. I don't know why he chose to do that. But yeah, man, it's grown man consequences. Dude's definitely getting fired, sued, gonna be in jail for a long time, and they're gonna hold him. They're gonna hit him with everything that they can because that video is pretty brutal. It wasn't too brutal to the point to where you're like, ooh, but you just see dude get lumped. You seen the 14-year-old boy get lumped, and it was pretty hard to watch. But he asked for it. I'm sorry. If I was 14, my son's 14 years old, and he's challenging a grown man and just, calling. This is what we see on camera. We don't see before, all the back and forth before. Because when the camera was on, and he's not the only person that had, was recording, you can see that the teacher's still being pretty calm, and I feel like what really triggered him is that the student asked the teacher, "Why are you shaking? You scared?" And that, for any man, if you are shaking in a manner to kind of restrain yourself, especially from a person that you could like just light them up, and you're already refraining, from hurting them. Once you hear, "Are you afraid?" when you're doing this for their safety, it's kind of gloves are off at that point. The restraint, self-control can go out the window. You got to be patient with these type of scenarios, especially working with children. You should know better. Shame on you, that teacher. What do you guys think about that 14-year-old kid, getting lumped up in music class? My thing is, if it was my son, right? I got a son. I'm a dad. Love DJ. I love you, by the way. If I seen my son, do this, I want fair ones. I would be at that teacher's front on that teacher's front lawn. If he goes to jail, I would be outside that jail waiting for him. And we're gonna run that fade, right? But before that happens, I would have a conversation with my son, and I would literally be like, "Bro, what did you expect? Challenging a teacher? What is wrong with you? Why don't you call me?" Or even if I wasn't there, you should have enough brains to not go ahead and challenge a man, while you're still a child. You're not done with puberty, and dude's like, if I had to guess, probably like 60, 80 pounds heavier than him, taller than him. It just has more experience. Like, that's a poor fight that you picked. You should not be picking fights whatsoever, but the kid literally asked for it multiple times, and was trying to intimidate, embarrass, and harass that teacher. He told him to walk away. He warned him. The dude didn't listen. It happens. I hate to say it. If that was my son, I'd be like, I'll catch the fade. Don't be twisted. But I'd be like, you got what you deserve. That's a grown man consequence. And that's something light. Your eye bleeding. You got a couple lumps on your forehead. There are kids that lose their lives. They get your whole future tossed away, and it's much severe consequences than that. And that kid's going to be extremely embarrassed for the rest of the school season. And that school is probably going to be on the news. But let me know what you guys think. They got 8.2 million views on Twitter. How that's legal, I have no idea. Twitter, just like doesn't play by the rules, and TikTok can get pretty crazy, but even TikTok would not play that. But let me know what you guys think. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe. I'll catch y'all later.